It was the year 2000. The world was a simple place. Gas prices was $1.50. Tiger Woods was the world's greatest golfer. And during this period, technology started to take off, giving us a whole new world, the internet, mobile phones, and the dawn of video games. Let us start back several years before, in the mid-90s, when the introduction of 3D effects Voodoo cards changed the way we played video games. It was the beginning of a different experience in 3D gaming.
Attention everybody, we're going to forget that environment stuff and use a chip for computer games. Back to work.
3DFX PC accelerators. So powerful, it's kind of ridiculous.
Blast his freaky head off!
Since this is GPU June, I would like to explore the beloved by all, the 3DFX Voodoo card, especially the Voodoo 3 3000. Even though Voodoo cards are nostalgic things for PC enthusiasts, they are capable of working on Macs, and this is what I would like to talk about in this video. Let us talk briefly about the history of the Voodoo 2 and the Voodoo 3 on Macs. The Voodoo 2 card launched on February 2nd, 1998 for PC. Almost a year later, 3DFX began developing and releasing Mac reference drivers. Since then, the Voodoo 2 card worked on Macs by installing drivers, which was possible because it used another card that would boot first the 2D portion of the video. When you need to run a game, the Voodoo 2 would take over. There are several brand names like Game Wizard, TechWorks, and Villagetronic who purposely made cards for Mac. Now these were expensive, and since they are rare cards, they are still today. There's a fascinating video from Mac84 testing a rare Voodoo 2 card on an iMac. I'll leave a link below. The Voodoo 3 series card was a change of game plan. On December 14, 1998, 3DFX purchased the STB system, one of the largest graphics manufacturers. For 3DFX, it was a gamble to make their own cards. Their OEM suppliers became the competition and worsened the risky situation. Since 3DFX had experimented with the implementation of 2D and 3D graphics on the Voodoo Rush and the Banshee, the Voodoo 3 series cards were faster and better. It was clocked higher than the Banshee core, outfitted with a second texture unit and some bug fixes. Now the 3DFX made drivers and flash ROM applications for their cards to work on Macs. They released them as beta drivers. Unfortunately, on December 15, 2000, 3DFX finally raised the white flag of defeat and was purchased by Nvidia, and the rest is history. Since I have a PC version Voodoo 3 3000 PCI card, I would like to flash it to work on a Mac. Now, there are several online articles that talk about these procedures. I will provide links below in case anyone is interested in researching more about the subject. So you might ask, why would you do this to a Voodoo 3 card? Well, why not? It would make a great video topic for GPU June. So let us begin with this procedure. Hopefully the 3DFX video card will survive. I was planning on using this 8500 Power Mac, but for some reason I couldn't get the software running properly on the hard drive. So I opted to use my Quicksilver G4 for this test. Let's begin by removing the Voodoo 3 3000 card from my PC. This beautiful build is sporting an Athlon T-Bird 1 GHz with a PC 133 512 megabytes of RAM and a hard drive, Western Digital hard drive, 40 gigabytes. The G4 Quicksilver is a 933 MHz processor with 1.5 gigabytes of memory, and I think it's an 80 gigabyte hard drive. It's really hard to get it installed with one hand, as you can see in the video. Since I now have it installed on the Quicksilver, I need to check if it's being detected by the G4. And as you can see on the screen capture, it is being detected, so that means I can start flashing. Flashing the Voodoo card, it's a real simple process. Just read first the README file. I recommend that. And yeah, the instructions are really simple and easy to follow. I downloaded two different types of flash ROMs. One is a beta 13 and the other one's a beta 12. I downloaded both because I wanted to make sure that I was able to get it running. I tested both of them. Beta 12 it seems to work better than the beta 13 for some reason. I couldn't get it to flash the ROM with the beta 13, and I think it's not because there's a problem with it. It's because I probably typed in the wrong command address for it to flash. I noticed my mistake when I was editing the video, and I saw that I didn't write the right parameters or the right address for it, and yeah, I was missing a period. So yeah, just make sure you're writing the right address for it. It probably should work, but since I already flashed it to beta 12, I just left it like that and tested it as is. As you can see in the screen capture from the G4, everything went fine. It was asking me to restart the computer, so I restarted. Next step is to open Apple System Profiler, and from there check if the Voodoo 3000 is being recognized. And on devices and volume, you can see the PCI slot number 4, and if I open up here, yes, there it is. 3DFX Voodoo 3, Voodoo 3000, and the screen size is 1024 by 768. So now let's test some games. First game I wanted to test is Tomb Raider 2, and here it is loading. Now something interesting happens when I quit the game. As you can see here, it quits fine and everything, but once it gets into the operating system, it just goes berserk. Yeah, that's a problem. I was able to figure out where the shutdown button was, and I was able to turn it off. Next game I would like to test is Descent number 3, and this game plays alright. Unfortunately, my camera does not show the high quality that is showing, the real high quality that is showing on the video game. But yeah, it is a really nice, smooth game. Now I wanted to test the function of two monitors and see what it would do. And yeah, for some reason I wasn't expecting this, but on the ATI, it seems that to be playing the video, the introduction for Tomb Raider 2, which wasn't working at first when I was testing it on the Voodoo card. But yeah, it's something that it mentioned on the README files for the Tomb Raider 2 that you had the option either to turn it off or you had to change something on the configuration to make it work. And but in this case, since I have the ATI, it's showing the video on the video card on the ATI 128 Pro, and the game it's running on the Voodoo card itself. So that's something interesting that I just stumbled upon. Now, as you might remember at the beginning, I showed playing Tomb Raider with a Voodoo 3 card, and it was once I quit the game, it was going berserk, and you couldn't really see the desktop or the operating system anymore. But now, in this case, as you can see, it runs fine. There's no issue. I guess this is because 3DFX never made an official patch official drivers for this. There were always beta drivers, and it was something that never got fixed because 3DFX, as we know, it went under, and yeah, there was no official support. Now, would I recommend doing this to a Voodoo card? Probably not. And this is because ATI 128 Pro has better support on the G3 and Power Macs. Most of the articles that I've read mentioned or were tested on the G3 and older computers or Power Macs that they have. And the performance was quite significant, but once they start comparing with the G4, there was not much of a difference other than being a bit faster, the Voodoo 3 card. Once I have my Power Mac 8500 running again, I will compare the Voodoo 3000 with an ATI card that I can find and make a video. I want to end this video by thanking Nathan from Pixel Pipes for organizing this event that is GPU June. I had a lot of fun making this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if there's any questions or any information that I missed, please let me know.